Hi, this is Ron Edwards, Master Sommelier and Director of Wine Education for Winebow Fine Wine and Spirits. Today we're going to taste a really cool wine from a region in the heel of Italy. This is from Salice, Salentino, which is dead center in that area that we think of as the heel, which is Salento of Italy, and it is blessed with calcareous and clay materials and a really cool grape that's indigenous to that area called Negro Amaro. Negro Amaro, black bitter combined, basically, an indication of how dark these berries were in antiquity, and this grape has been grown here for a very long time. Not exactly sure that Negro Amaro is truly indigenous to Salento. There's a lot of back and forth there between the Greeks and the Italians throughout the generations, but either way, it's certainly home to Negro Amaro now. We're going to taste specifically Cantel, Salice Salentino, Riserva. This is a wine from a family that has 3 generations in the area. They resettled there from the north after World War II and have been a leader in this area ever since. This particular wine happens to be 100% Negro Amaro, which is not required by law, but this is the choice of the winemaking team. It is aged for 2 years after fermentation, which is required to be Riserva, and it's 6 months in used French barrique and the rest in tank. So let's find out what we have. I don't know what to say immediately other than it smells Italian. There's this wonderful herbal, savory, I'm cooking and drinking wine at the same time kind of approach that Italian reds give me that is just really warm and wonderful. There's an oregano, dried cooking herb kind of note that comes right out of the nose alongside of fresh and dried cherries, some red plum, and a little bit of black forest fruit. Considering the region, which is very Mediterranean and the warmest and driest region of all of Italy, you would expect the wine to be super ripe, and it isn't. It smells fresh and vibrant. There's also a little bit of a saltiness to the nose, which is really intriguing and probably relative to the fact that it's a peninsula. Getting a little sage, some dried orange peel, very distant baking spices. Since most of the oak is used, that makes sense. A little dry, dusty, like dry earth aroma profile. And then back to those fruits. It smells delicious, so let's taste it. Delightful. It's got prickly tannin, bright, vibrant acidity that is balanced by this dried fruit richness that is in harmony with it. So you get a little sweet fruit, then tart fruit, and then that prickle of tannin, and then it cycles all over again. Really love the texture. It's kind of satiny. So the fruits are very similar. Tart cherry, dried cherry. The plum moves to black plum and actually just a smidge of raisin going on in this wine. And then there's also this sort of black forest berry note. Then it goes into the herbs, oregano, sage, the orange peel comes through, the baking spices that are just sort of a thread through here from the oak are really a nice nuance. That prickly texture and dry, dusty earth combination between the flavor and the texture really match nicely, and it feels pleasantly earthy. Let's have another sip. So if you're a person that really likes Sangiovese, this wine is going to remind you of that and have a lot of the same applications. It's different. It's not quite as vibrantly cherry. There's a darker, richer, warmer climate feel to the wine, but it's still very refreshing and very centered, I think, on putting this wine on the table and enjoying it with a meal. You can certainly drink it by itself, but it's just saying to me, hey, take me downstairs to dinner, please. And that's the kind of wine I love. I love wine that works with food. Makes sense. I'm a sommelier. This wine is delicious. You want to go out and find a bottle of 2015 or 17, whichever one you can find. This is the 15. They're both delicious. Salice Salentino Riserva from Cantel.